Matumba, P.S. Matembo, and my dear P.S. Governor from the Ministry of Information. My dear colleagues, this afternoon we have found it prudent for us to discuss and inform the nation and clarify issues pertaining to the recent happenings in the ministry. You may be aware that this morning we all woke up to note that the newspapers and the other media houses are awash with the reports that the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security has fired the Registrar of Society. I want to make it abundantly clear that there is no iota of truth in those newspaper reports. The truth is that the Registrar of Societies has been redeployed and will be given other assignments through Cabinet Office. I state without fear of any contradiction that there is none of our officials, including the Registrar of Societies, who has been dismissed or fired. The letter to her is very clear. The letter has been circulated and is in public domain. Members of the public must take note that whenever a civil servant is employed, you sign an agreement with the government that you can serve anywhere and that you can be reassigned if need arises. And that is what has happened. So there is no iota of truth in those speculations that are in the government, not in the government papers, but in the media. We are also aware of falsehoods that are being peddled. We have heard statements to the effect that the Registrar of Societies was compelled by a court order to produce a list of office bearers of the Patriotic Front. We, as Minister of Home Affairs, want to state very clearly that there has never been any court order compelling the Registrar of Societies to produce any document to anybody. What is available is a subpoena to the Registrar of Societies to produce a list of office bearers of the PF before court would draw conclusions. I will leave this matter to you. What motivated her to give the purported documents to Makebi Zulu instead of bringing out those documents in court? Further, when you are requested to produce documents in court, they become court documents. The other parties are entitled to interrogate the documents and cross-examine the one who is producing the documents. Coming to the purported document which is being floated around, that there is a list of PF office bearers. That document, I think all of you have seen it. That document has listed a number of office bearers. That document identifies, according to the document, it states that President Lungu is the president of the PF, and that he was appointed in 2002, and he was residing at Lewanika Close. Lewanika Close, where ministers stay. In 2002, the president of the Patriotic Front was Michael Chirufya Sata, and the vice president then was Guy Scott. In 2002. If that document is factually incorrect, what would you deduce as members of the press and members of the public? Is it a genuine document or is it a fake document? And that is why the court wanted that document to be produced in court, so that the registrar would be cross-examined pertaining to the authenticity of that document. That document is now being peddled before it reaches court, purporting to show that it is being secreted arising from the court order. I've told you that there is no such court order. It doesn't exist. It's up to you, members of the press, members of the public, to analyze what is going on over this issue. I do not want to draw conclusions myself. We are stating the position of the ministry as the situation is. The document is available. We'll give to all of you for your use. We found it important as government and Minister of Home Affairs to clear the air pertaining to this issue. Thank you so much. If there are questions, I'm available. Yes, sir.
Honourable Minister, thank you for the brief. You say the question that begs answers is how the Registrar of Societies availed that document to Council Makebi. In the last 48 hours, what has happened in the Registrar of Societies and what has unfolded thereafter? For some people, they've concluded that the Registrar of Societies is porous and available to be used by the fighting factions of the PF. As Minister in charge of the ministry, doesn't that worry you, that that sort of dents the image and also sort of lends credibility to the assertions that government has a hand in what's going on in the PF?
Obviously, we as government, we get worried when there are accusations that our officers are compromised. We get worried. There are accusations that government has a hand in whatever is going on. On the other hand, the other party is also has a hand in what is going on in this matter. So as government, we are worried. And we can't just, fold our arms and watch such situations obtaining. We have to take appropriate action.
And the deployment of the officer in question enough? Is that...
Well, I will not be in a position to state what other action is being taken, but what we are saying is that as ministry, we have to redeem ourselves when such allegations are made against ourselves. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Matthew from Hot FM. Honorable Minister, you've talked about two things. You've argued over the letter which is circulating to say, you gave an example of the president in 2002, the PF president, who was Michael Chilufya-Sata. Again, there is this other thing happening where the Registrar of Society is yet to be redeployed. Where is the contradiction here? The letter, is it authentic from the point of view, or it's not authentic? From the scenario
which letter are you talking about, sir?
The one, the office bearers, the one which is circulating on social media.
The letter, the list of office bearers, in my very considered view, can't be authentic. I've told you that there is no way that the Honorable former President ECL could have been the president of PF in 2002. It's not possible. It's not possible. There's that period which is an issue. He was a member of the UPND. And the president at that time was Michael Chilufya-Sata. All of us, or even all of you here, you know that in 2002, the president of PF was Michael Chilufya-Sata until when he died.
Yeah. Do you think means this raises questions to say there's a redeployment and the letter, the list of those names is circulating? Don't you think there is some sort of question from the public to say why is it happening now when the list of the names of the office bearers are out?
Have you ever heard of coincidences? It's a coincidence.
Minister, I know you've responded that it might have been a coincidence, but there have been allegations that it's because of the leaked letter, which you say may not be authentic, that has necessitated her transfer. Are you maybe able to tell us what exactly necessitated her transfer? And also responding to that, yesterday as she arrived at her office, there were some police officers that were there, and it has been alleged that some of her personal belongings have been seized, and among them is a laptop. I want you to respond to that, and also who takes over her position after the transfer.
Who takes over her position is a matter that is administrative. It could be me or somebody else. That is for the Ministry of Home Affairs to determine. The PSs are here. They are the ones who assign people to take over positions. I've seen, in the media, a name being floated around of a person I've never heard of, that she has taken over. I don't know. I don't know that person. Now, coming to the issue we have raised, creating a connection to this matter. If you were in our position, and there are issues that are arising, these issues have not started arising now. You are aware that there has been a fight between MMD, the MMD camps. Within the MMD camps, They have been fighting over the management of the affairs of MMD. Now it's the PF. Other matters have arisen. What we have decided to do is to realign the operations of the Registrar of Societies, not necessarily connecting it to this matter. It has nothing to do with this matter, but it's a chain of events of what has been going on in the office of the Registrar of Societies.
The presence of the police officers, was she resisting the transfer?
The presence of police officers. There are police officers even outside my office here, sir. This is Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. There are officers everywhere. One thing you have to take note: if I'm removed or I'm assigned to another department, the government has a right to secure the office. They have a right to do that because we have security documents in those offices. That is the right of government. Any responsible government will ensure that when somebody leaves, you secure the office so that nothing misses. It is not strange. It happens every time.
Maybe, Minister, maybe last away from the topic of discussion. Maybe we want to find out. We've seen happenings in the police service with regards to over detention of suspects, and yet there was a presidential directive to say a suspect shouldn't be held in police custody for more than 48 hours. And while there is a bond, you can bail that person. But we've seen suspects being over detained. What is your ministry doing, or what would be your directive, especially to the police?
We abide by the presidential directive, and it's not just a presidential directive, it is also what the law provides. However, you have to take note that when someone applies for police bond, there are conditionalities that have to be met. Some of our colleagues fail to make those conditionalities. If you fail to meet the conditionalities, you remain until the conditions of bond are met, just like in court. You can apply for bail in court. The court will give you bail. They will tell you the conditions. If you fail to meet the conditions of that bail, you will remain until you fulfill the commitments of the bail conditions. Other than that, I want to reassure the nation that we are going to abide by the law and will carry out the presidential directive. Even myself and my colleagues here, we have given instructions. The police command has given instructions that they must ensure that people who meet bond conditions are given police bond. But also, you must take note that there are perpetual law breakers to the extent that the police become reluctant to continue giving police bond for perpetual law breakers. They have the right to consider whether somebody deserves a police bond or not. We will not want to interfere, but if they tell us that they could not give him or her a police bond because of these situations, we have to abide, because that is also within the law. Thank you so much. But we would like you to have this document. This is key, so that the nation and yourselves know whether people are telling the truth. And also, look at that document which has been produced as to whether it's authentic or not. Inonge Wina ceased to be vice president of the Patriotic Front before 2021. But she's appearing as, it even renders credence to the fights they are having. That, the office bearers who are there are fake. It's not me who's saying it. It's the document, their security. Thank you so much, colleagues. Can we ensure that they have this document? It's important.